Hook plus installation of pain plus bait promise, 3 posto, opens with magnetic hook in 4 phases. Phase 1, break in authority pattern. Stop what you are doing now. Phase 2, validation of the past test. You have passed the test of invisible surveillance. Phase 3, mystical curiosity. Today, heaven has recalibrated its gaze upon you. Phase 4, divine appointment. You are not here by chance, but by a divine decree. Installation of sustained pain, 4 to 6 concrete sensory images. The mind that replays the same conversation at 3 a.m. The body that trembles in situations where it shouldn't, feeling constantly exposed. Money that comes and goes without a trace, as if drained by invisible forces. The feeling of wearing armor that cannot be removed, always on guard. The question that never stops, why are they, and not I, so obsessed with observing me? An innocent question from a child spouse about your exhaustion, which hurts because you have no clear answer. First movement, bait promise of the instrument. There is one thing I will place in your hands before this message ends. Something Solomon recorded for the child of God who needs to navigate invisible surveillance and that fits in your pocket. It's not a book to study. It's an instrument to sustain the weight of what you carry. I'll come back to this. For now, stay here. Plus 2 to 3 sensory images of pain. The exhaustion of trying to be transparent, yet still feeling misunderstood. The burden of knowing that every step is watched, every word analyzed. The frustration of having your pure intentions distorted by others' narratives. Second movement. First touch with the link. To-dun. And precisely about that, about the mind replaying the same conversation at 3 a.m., I have already left the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it's there. But stay, because the Hebrew name of what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. Block 2, presentation of the guide, plus act of faith, 8%. Third movement, presentation of the guide, plus act of faith. Have you ever felt that this invisible surveillance is not just human, but spiritual? And what if this pattern of constantly feeling profiled is a sign that there is a battle against the purpose God has placed on your life? It was in seeking answers to this that I found this digital guide called the Solomon Code. This guide is not just a reading, it's a key to spiritual understanding, a tool made for those who desire to see beyond appearances, to stop treating the feeling of persecution as a mere discomfort, and to understand why the attempt to profile rises with such force against those who bear God's mark. Several chosen ones here on the channel have already felt the call of the code, but have not yet made the decision to download the digital guide. Download it now. It is available in the first pinned comment. If you are one of the first to download it, come back here and write, Amen. This will be your act of faith, and today God can show you the reason why the attempt to profile rose against your life. Block 3, validation, plus tool, plus objection breaking, 32%. Deep validation of the 5 signs. 1. The unwilling vigil. You find yourself awake at 3 a.m., replaying conversations, anticipating attacks, or planning defenses. Your body is in permanent alert mode, even when your mind tries to rest. What seems like insomnia is, in reality, an activated spiritual sentinel. 2. The distorted mirror. You perceive that the image others have of you is a caricature, a projection that does not reflect who you truly are. Your actions are constantly misinterpreted and your intentions questioned. What seems like gossip is a coordinated attack on your identity. 3. The invisible leak. You feel that your energy, resources, and time are drained without apparent reason. Efforts that should bear fruit seem to get lost along the way, and your victories are minimized. What seems like bad luck is a strategic breach. Fourth movement, anchoring to the link. Pastoral break. And precisely about that, about the mind replaying the same conversation at 3 a.m., I have already left the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it's there, but stay because the Hebrew name of what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. 4. The solitude of vision. You have a clarity and discernment that not everyone around you shares. This isolates you, as few understand the depth of what you see and the seriousness of the battle. What seems like solitude is, in reality, the solitude of the visionary. 5. Spiritual resistance. You feel a contrary force whenever you try to advance in your purpose or connect more deeply with the divine. Projects stagnate, prayers seem not to reach the ceiling, and faith is constantly challenged. What seems like failure is direct spiritual resistance. Concrete tool applicable today. The inverted gaze protocol, based on Psalm 27, Isaiah 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? This protocol teaches you to shift your gaze from your persecutors to God's protective gaze. Step 1. Recognize the surveillance. Step 2. Declare Psalm 27:1 aloud. Step 3. Imagine God's gaze as an impenetrable shield. Step 4. Surrender control to Him. Complete objection breaking, 5th to 11th on the track. 5th movement, physical anchoring. And if you are feeling right now that this is exactly what you need, even before I continue, place your thumb now on the link in the first pinned comment. Don't click yet, just place your thumb. Feel the weight of the decision before making the decision. 6th movement, revelation of the 2 seals. This guide is not a method to do more. It's an instrument to sustain more. It doesn't train you, it covers you. And the next sleepless night arrives sooner than it seems. And it comes with 2 seals for your home, not for your performance. The first seal is the ritual of the righteous sleep. It's an audio. You don't read, you lie down. And what you once called insomnia, today you will call an unsealed vigil. And you will learn to seal the night with the right name, in the right order, with the right voice. The second seal is the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees, 7 short phrases, 1 for each morning of the week. So you no longer wake up without identity. So you cross the first hour of the day with the posture of one who has been sent and not one who has been run over. 7th movement, guarantee, plus risk inversion, plus price anchoring. You have 7 days of unconditional guarantee to use and feel, 7 full days. If in 7 days the instrument has not touched what needs to be touched in you, if clarity has not arrived, you send an email and receive your money back. No questions asked, no justification. And the 2 seals, the ritual and the decrees, remain with you even if you return it. They are yours, unconditionally, but I need to be direct with you. The real risk is not spending less than 2 coffees. The real risk is the next sleepless night arriving and you still being empty-handed. This is a risk that has a face, and it's about that face that I need to talk to you now. 8th movement, Q&A on objections, 3 short questions. And perhaps you are now asking yourself some questions that deserve an answer before we proceed. How can I know if I am truly a target or if it's just my paranoia? Even amid confusion, your spirit discerns the difference between an attack and a common concern. This guide will give you the tools to validate that perception. Why me, who tries to do good, am I so persecuted? Because your light bothers. The enemy does not persecute what poses no threat. If God is guarding me, why do I still feel so much fear and anxiety? Fear and anxiety are signs that you are feeling the battle, but do not yet have the weapons to fight. The guide delivers that strategy to you, and yet, if you only want the guide, it is already sufficient. But the complete house is with the 3. Ninth movement, social proof with 3 cases, short. Mitul, a 42-year-old startup CEO, suffering from online reputation attacks, started using the guide after months of insomnia. In the first week of using the ritual of the righteous sleep, she felt her mind calm and discernment blossom. The phrase she sent me, "They can see me, but they can no longer touch me." A 55-year-old university professor, constantly feeling observed and judged in his academic environment, started using the guide when exhaustion overwhelmed him. In the first week of using the awakening of clarity, he rediscovered his posture of spiritual authority. The phrase he sent me, "My voice silenced the spies faster than any argument." A 28-year-old community leader dealing with gossip and boycotts in his social work sought the guide when he felt completely unprotected. In the first week of using the inverted gaze protocol, he felt a peace and protection he had never before experienced. The phrase he sent me, "They seek a profile, but they only find the face of God guarding me." 10th movement, concrete temporal FOMO, 3 future scenes. Perhaps in 3 hours you will be lying in bed again, your mind replaying the same conversation at 3 a.m., remembering that you saw this video and still haven't reached out. Perhaps in the next sleepless night, your soul will feel even more exposed. Perhaps in the next awakening, your faith will be even more shaken, and the surveillance continues to arrive with the same alarm clock, the same coffee, the same door opening in the next dawn. 11th movement, reframing the click. The link is in the first pinned comment. Pinned for you, not for everyone. For you who needs to cross the next sleepless night with the instrument in hand. Click now. And when you do, when you open this link, you are not buying a book. You are accepting an instrument that Solomon prepared for your everyday life. And what you will understand next, when you hear the Hebrew word that follows, will change the way you read everything that has happened until now. Block 4, Hebrew word plus biblical narrative plus summary, 20%. 12th movement, Hebrew word, climax of the revelation promised in Block 1. Naitun. The Hebrew word that precisely defines what is happening to you is Shamar, Shma'ah. Pronounce it with me softly wherever you are. Shamar. Shamar means to guard, to watch, to protect. But it's not just that. It's not just to observe, but to actively protect, care for, preserve. It is the divine surveillance that contrasts with the human attempt at profiling and control. It's not just a dictionary translation. It's a word that describes a state, a posture, a calling. And when you hear this word, something within you calms down, because it was already happening within you. You just didn't have a name for it. And about this word, it is written in Psalm 4, verse 8, "In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety." The ESV, it is not a promise of the future, it is a declaration of state. 13th movement, applied biblical narrative. The story of David in the caves, persecuted by Saul, is a perfect mirror of what you are experiencing. Saul sent his spies, his richest spies, to profile David, to discover his hiding places and his weaknesses. But David had a different instrument: trust in God's Shamar. He did not fight with Saul's weapons. He took refuge in Psalm 27, declaring, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" The operation of this instrument in David's daily life was prayer, poetry, the search for God's presence, even when everything around him was crumbling. The turning point did not come when David defeated Saul in open battle, but when he refused to touch the Lord's anointed, trusting that God's own Shammah would bring justice. And what David had to improvise in the caves, you can now do with a guide in hand. The instrument that Solomon recorded is the same one waiting for you in the first pinned comment. 14th movement, summary of 4 facts. Let me pause for a full minute and put everything you have just heard into simple words, without poetry, without metaphor, just the facts. Fact 1. There is a spirit of subtle surveillance and profiling acting against you. Fact 2. It tries to undermine your identity and purpose, making you doubt who you are. Fact 3. David the king was the target of this same attack, but he trusted in God's Shammah. Fact 4. Your hesitation, which you call prudence, is exactly what this spirit needs to convince you to give up in the next sleepless night. Block 5. Diagnosis, plus final call to action, plus sharing, 10%. 15th movement. Diagnosis of the 3 archetypes of calling. There are 3 types of calling that are now being tested by the spirit of surveillance and profiling. You are one of these 3 types. When I name yours, your spirit will leap in recognition. The first type is sentinel of truth. Your integrity is constantly questioned by those who want to distort the reality around you. The second type is guardian of the covenant. Your deepest relationships are attacked by mistrust and manipulation, trying to break the bonds of faith. The third type is lighthouse of presence. Your light and discernment are targets of forces seeking to extinguish your radiance and leave you in darkness. 16th movement. 3 identities sealed. Integrated call to action. And about your type, heaven had already sealed 3 names. The first name is Watcher of the Invisible. Your function is to discern and protect what is hidden, revealing the adversary's strategies. Solomon's instrument teaches you to be attentive and to protect your spiritual field. The second name is Anchored on the Rock. Your identity is unshakable in the face of storms of attacks and judgments. The third name is Sign of the Countercurrent. Your life is a testimony that defies the system of the world. If one of these 3 names resonated most strongly with you, write the number below in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. This is your first act of taking possession of your identity. 17th movement. 3 tactics of the adversary, plus 3 weapons. For the Watcher of the Invisible, the adversary's tactic is distraction and constant noise. The weapon, active silence. For the Anchored on the Rock, the tactic is the erosion of the foundation and doubt about the word. The weapon, the memory of the promise. For the Sign of the Countercurrent, the tactic is conformity and the fear of standing out. The weapon, the audacity of testimony. And these 3 weapons alone are a reminder. With the instrument, they become a covering. Recognizing the cycle without the instrument that Solomon left means receiving the diagnosis without the treatment. And furthermore, there are 4 portals beyond these 3 that I cannot open here, not for lack of time, but due to density. Each needs its own page with the exact counterweapon, and until I deliver these 4 here, the spirit of surveillance and profiling knows them all. The guide delivers them. 18th movement. Final spiritual obstacle. Fear of seeming ungrateful. But before I release you, there is one last point. The last obstacle is not the enemy. It is a voice within you that sounds dangerously reasonable. It is the fear of seeming ungrateful. It is the fear that by accepting an instrument you are telling God that what He has already done was not enough. It is false piety. It is pride dressed as humility. God does not give you strength so that you refuse the weapons He Himself forged for your battle. Accepting the instrument is not doubting strength, it is honoring the general's strategy. 19th movement, guided prayer with body instruction. Now I want you to close your eyes wherever you are, place your right hand over your chest, and repeat after me softly, if necessary, but let it come from your mouth. Father, I surrender to you the weariness that has accumulated in recent months from constantly feeling under others' gaze. I release myself from the fear of seeming ungrateful. This is the subtlest chain. My urgency is my gratitude. And I now receive the 3 names that have been sealed upon me: Watcher of the Invisible, Anchored on the Rock, Sign of the Countercurrent, not for me to boast, but for me to remember, to cross what comes with them on my lips, in my posture, in my chest. 20th movement, Father's voice in the first person. And before the voice that comes now, I need you to hear one thing. The intensity of what you have been through in recent months is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that you are exactly where you always knew you should be. If this resonates with you now, right below, I receive the turning point. And now the Father's voice. Listen, son, daughter, I saw you. I saw you trying to hide from the gaze of those who profile you. I saw you struggling to maintain your identity. I never lost sight of you. I never closed the seat at my table that bears your name. Your name is engraved in the palms of my hands. The chair is yours. The pride for your faithful heart was never withheld from you, and there is a voice speaking within you now. A voice that says, this is not for me, this is for someone with greater faith. I need you to hear this from me now. You have permission. You have permission to receive what you have not earned. You have permission to occupy the chair at the table without having to justify it. You have permission to let die the version of yourself that needed to suffer to feel worthy. Solomon did not prepare this instrument for those who are already ready. He prepared it for those who are tired, and the one who is tired is you now. 21st movement, decree of coverage over home, family, work. I now extend my hand toward your home and decree a covering of sealing over all that belongs to you, over your table, so that it may be a place of peace and revelation, not scrutiny. I declare a covering over your children and your spouse, if you have them. May they be guarded from malicious surveillance and subtle profiling. And I decree a covering over your work, over your hands. May your works be invisible to the enemy, but powerful for the kingdom. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. 22nd movement, chair at the table scene. Before I release you, I want you to walk with me to a room you haven't yet seen with your physical eyes. Don't force it, just let the image come. There's a long, dark, wooden table. Light comes from above, from a place you can't identify. People are sitting there. Some you loved and are gone, others you haven't yet met. The faces look like family, and there's an empty chair near the head of the table. Your shape is carved into it. The wood remembers you. Solomon is at the head, and he nods as if to say, we were waiting for you. You are not creating this scene. You are remembering it. The chair was always yours. Only you were missing. Don't say amen yet. Sit in that for a moment. Feel the weight of what just happened. Now you can say amen. 23rd movement, final call to action with all weapons. The Solomon Code is waiting for you in the first pinned comment right below with the ritual of sleep and the 7 morning decrees for less than 2 coffees, because a watcher of the invisible without covering rots in the next sleepless night. And the adversary counts on the next sleepless night. It's not an expense, it's an instrument. And Solomon prepared it for you to navigate what comes with a firm hand, not empty-handed, with a 7-day guarantee. The risk is ours, the action is yours. Click now, while the decree is still alive in your heart, not tomorrow, not after showering, because those who put it off until later put it off forever, and the adversary already knows that. The 24th movement, 5 adversary phrases after the click. In the next 3 hours, he will speak within you, not loudly. In sequence, 5 short phrases. You need this money for more urgent things. This feeling of persecution is just fatigue. Tomorrow you'll be better. This is for more spiritual people, not for someone like you. If it were truly important, God would have already given it to you for free. You don't need a guide. You already know what to do. 5 waves. He tries from 5 angles. In one of them you give in. Today, now, before the next sleepless night, not later. Today. And Solomon will sustain you. 26th movement. Personalized sharing. And before you go, think of one specific person. Not many, just one. The person whose name came to you when I said that. The person who has been silent, faithful, unseen, attacked in the same way. Someone who has been coming home carrying a burden that is not theirs. Someone who needs the same ceiling you just received. Send this video to them. They are waiting for this word to arrive. Perhaps it will be your hand that delivers it. It's not your favor, it's service, and heaven sees. If you watch this video to the end, comment below, Amen received. And send this video to that specific person who came to your mind. 27th movement, ritual closing and signature phrase. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You are not the same person you were when you pressed play. You are deeply loved. You were never forgotten. The chair is yours, and thus it is sealed. The next sleepless night can wait 10 more seconds. May the wisdom from above be your ground today. May your soul find rest. Until next time.